right, so welcome back from that quick break. And of course, it's still your #1 morning show. This is the AM Club right here on MX24. Now we're diving straight into the plug. We're throwing the spotlight on Fill the UPSA Auditorium. And this event, I don't know why I say they don't make a be MC of the event. I start the lobby, but lobby, but still, but it's fine, it's fine. We go do one at soon. I've got a very good friend, of course, Moses B. Arthur. He's CEO of Afrimart Atlantic Limited. He's a global speaker. He's a best-selling author too as well, and it's good to have him. You don't normally get these people inside the studio, so they are very busy, very busy. So when you get them, you grab them once and for all. Yeah. Moses, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, brother. I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's
awesome.
It's actually good to have you inside the studio.
Same here. It's a pleasure to be here.
We would have wished to have that time where we'll just, get you the timing and you get to just spill it out and, do whatever you do best, man.
I'm sure that time will definitely come.
It's good to have you.
Amazing.
Someone would say, yes, we do know about Moses. He talks, he does this, he does that. But, you do a lot of other things, and in terms of real estate too as well. But how do you juggle up doing all these things?
It's a beautiful one. Thank you so much, Kojo. Thank you, MX, for having me on your platform this morning. How do I juggle everything? I think that, again, every man and what talent God has given him with. For somebody, it's just that one thing that they are good at, and then, they work at it to become better.
Yeah.
For someone, they are able to do pretty much a lot of things. But the beauty about juggling up a lot of things is that you may be the man at the front, but then you have a group of people behind you that push you.
Yeah.
So I'm able to do everything that I do because I have an able team and I have an active team that understands the vision of what we're trying to achieve per whatever thing I'm invested in, and then they get to work. So for instance, I'm here with you this morning on the AM show. My project, Solara Residence, a development by Afrimart Atlantic, is currently under construction. We started about 5-6 months ago. It's a 5-story, 25-unit apartment building. The team is working, but I'm here.
Yeah.
We're preparing for the event next week as well.
Yeah.
And in preparation towards that, the team is equally working, but I'm here. So one of the things that makes me accomplish the things that I'm able to accomplish is because I have an abled team that understand the vision of what we're trying to achieve per every other thing that I'm invested in, and then they get to make the vision happen. I just happen to be the guy that sits and creates, and then, everybody comes in together to be able to make it happen. So that's how I'm able to, keep everything afloat and then keep it going.
Okay, most definitely. For someone who hasn't heard about the Trailblazers Unite, briefly, what can you say about that?
Trailblazers Unite, I'm going to give it a bit of context.
Okay.
So in 2017, I had just completed KNUST. I was probably 21 years by then. And I set out on a journey to become a knowledge merchant, And I get to do this through speaking. And then I get to do this through authoring of books. I currently, as a published author, have 3 books to my name. In 2018, I launched The Entrepreneur's Journey, an Ideal Startup Guide. 2021, I did Understanding Systems Thinking, the Modern Art of Building Learning Organizations. And then my latest book, The 7 Universal Currencies for Leveraging Anything in this World. Now, 8 years ago, when I set out on this journey, at the very core of my quest was to leave my fellow man better than I found them and the world a better place. And there's no other way to get people to become better versions of themselves than to feed them with knowledge, than to build them up with knowledge, because knowledge is literally the only thing that gets people built up, that gets people to be established and gets people to be grounded. So there's a philosophy I go by. I say that what you don't know in life is darker than the night. So imagine us coming into the studios and you have a bunch of keys and then the doors are locked and you don't know which key actually opens what door. You know, so just 8 years in as a speaker, to mark my 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 journey as a speaker for the past 8 years, we decided to put together Trailblazers Unite, and the goal is to put 3,000 plus young people in the UPSA Auditorium with amazing trailblazers who have built amazing things. And the goal is just to bring us to one place where, you know, we can think bigger, we can dream louder, and to act bolder. And of course, if we're able to do all of these things, it just leads to one thing. It shapes Ghana's tomorrow. So pretty much that's the drive towards the event, and that's what actually birthed this vision. So in as much as on the side, it's to mark my 8th anniversary as a speaker, the main goal is to spark up a desire in young people, in young Ghanaians, to be able to think bigger, to dream louder, most importantly, to act bolder. Because you can think it all, you can dream it all, but if you don't take the requisite actions, you're not going to become what you ought to become. So that's the driving force, and that's what actually got us here. And we've been at it. We started this vision 8 years ago, and this is how far we've come. So it's literally one of the biggest events that any young person can look out for. Yeah.
I want us to move away, but still on the topic. This is just a social experiment that I've realized, you know, that is going on. And I would love you to talk about it, and probably if it's a myth, then probably we can debunk it. Yeah, because these days people say, oh, trailblazers, you know, global impactors, people who are speaking will just come and tell you, give you a motivation. Oh, I started with... you know, oh, I started selling plantain chips. I started that. And they feel as if that, okay, maybe there is a backstory to it. Maybe this person, their great-grandfather left them with some fortune somewhere.
Absolutely.
So they'll just come and say, oh, I started with this, I started with that. Meanwhile, there was something that was backing them. You get it. And I think it's making the youth feel like, okay, these people come and talk to us. At the end of the day, even if they have the money to do something, they might not even pump it into something that will benefit me at the end of the day. So why should I come and sit for hours listening to somebody who's already made it? What would channel me, or what would encourage me to be able to become whoever is speaking at that point?
Absolutely.
I'm sure you get this a lot.
I do.
How do we change the narrative?
Kojo, you know, the thing with that story that's been peddled about people saying that they sold this, they did that is, first off, I want to pick it from a perspective. We live in a generation where people claim other people's anointings but refuse their sacrifices. So the average young person is claiming the anointing on Pizza Man, Chicken Man, is claiming the anointing on name any big shots they're seeing out there. But then they are not seeing the process, or they are refusing the sacrifices. And the sacrifice is what makes the process. Sadly enough, we've had a lot of Ghanaians who are successful who have failed to teach the younger generation the processes they've been through, which is the reason why if you've been to any of my conferences, or you get very close to me, or you've been following my body of work, one of the things I don't shy away from is my process, because I didn't just evolve. I've been becoming, and I'm still becoming, you know. So we live in a generation where people just want to amass this and become it in one day. So one of the things that this event, for me, one of the things that makes my lineup of speakers very unique is because the guys that are on the bill are people I have seen them start from nothing. I'm one myself. If I told you a year ago the processes I've had to go through to be able to start my real estate business, and the truth is, case again, my mentor, Dr. Stephen Debra, is a real estate mogul in this country. He's the founder of CPO Developers. Because he's gone through process, he's been able to teach me the business of real estate. And there's a principle I always say that, show me a man who can teach you what is in his head, and you can produce what is in his pocket. It's as simple as that. So if every young person comes out there and then they say that these people don't have stories to tell, you've not known the truth. Because when you get very close to these giants of industries, you get to know the things they had to deal with. You get to know the challenges they had to go through. You get to understand their thought process and patterns. And that's where the key is. I believe that you didn't just, you know, rise to become a media personnel. You have people who have mentored you, how to anchor interviews, how to, you know, become the best of what you're doing. And that kind of mentorship is what a lot of young people are missing out on. Then there's a balance. Again, the reason why a lot of people who are successful do not necessarily want to teach the younger ones or do not necessarily want to open up to the younger ones is because the younger ones also abuse access. So somebody grants you access to him, and then the first thing you want is money from the person. Somebody grants you access to him as a big person or as a mentor, and instead of you drawing from their wells of wisdom to better your life, you actually abuse that access, and then they cut it off. Some of the times, you know, you get access to a king or you get access to somebody who is doing well in the industry, and everything you get access to, you get to see, you get to hear, and then your mouth is going out there saying. So somebody opens up to you about the struggles or maybe their private life, and they cannot even trust that you would have the wisdom to keep it within their confines. So it makes our people who have been able to build substantial businesses also want to coil in and not share their process. So there's that balance in there. So somebody just shows up and then they hear that, oh, this person said, maybe 10 years ago, I did this. Maybe 20 years ago, I did that. Maybe 10 years ago, I did this. And to them, it feels like it's not true. But truth of the matter is, as far as I come in from where I sit, for most of the guys that I have engaged with who are doing well at the top, there's one thing that is missing and that they don't share. It's their process. So when you get to hear it for the first time, you go like, oh, okay, this person is like this person is lying, but they actually did go through process. For instance, myself, if I walk you through some of my processes, you go like, a lot of people think that it just, happened. Exactly. When I hear Pizza Man, Chicken Man, these are guys I knew in KNUST. I've seen process. I've seen them go through it. Their story is that if these guys share with you, I have been there with them when there was nothing. So I understand when I'm hearing them, you know, if my mentor is sharing some of the things that he's had to endure as a developer in this country for 20 years, I'm like, did you go through that? But the beauty is when they share these stories, we get to also learn from them. We understand the wisdom they used in dealing with these things, and we go through. So it's that balance. And so I would plead that the elderly ones should be more open to the younger ones. But again, there's a scripture in the book of Daniel that says that, and as such as had ability to stand in the king's palace. One of the things I always say is that it is not slaves that stand in the king's palace. It is noblemen that stand in the king's palace. So when a king of an industry grants you access to him, you need to understand that you are a nobleman. And the wisdom that comes with standing with a king, you must be able to make sure that you're keeping that wisdom. In a king's palace, you see stuff. In a king's palace, you hear stuff. But the principle is the fact that your eyes saw and your ears heard does not mean your mouth should see. So it means you should guard the access that God has blessed you with to the person that you've been given access to. And I think with that balance, we should be able to have a lot of our elderly folks open up and walk us through their process so that we can also be able to become. Because truth is that you may be young, but the elderly, they've seen things that you haven't seen. And it is the guide of their wisdom that helps you actually navigate the storms of life.
Most definitely. I love that. I mean, so now nobody should... But, well, let's get straight into Phil, the UPSA Auditorium. This would be... Which session would be this one?
Okay.
The third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth?
All right. So... Entrepreneurship Hub Africa, which is my non-profit that is geared towards impacting the next generation with knowledge, is something that we started 2017. And so it's been organizing events after events. And in past, we've had the likes of Dr. Robert Obiade, we've had the likes of Dr. Ubon King of blessed memory. We've had amazing personals grace the stage. So this time around, we decided to do something bigger. I'm anchoring something maybe for the next 10 years of my life is why are we here if we can do great things? So 3,000 plus young people in that room, and on the 12th of April, which is just next week Saturday, and we have these amazing lineup of speakers. One of the things that marks my speakers out is the fact that these are guys who have been through process. I can attest to that. And just by gleaning on that wisdom, we're trying and we're hoping that a generation will show up in that room and then they'll be ignited for the greater things that they're supposed to become. The thing about man is that every man is multidimensional. You may be sitting here anchoring the news with me today. Maybe, who knows, the next 2-3 years, you may be MP of this place.
Amen.
So, you know, there's a dimension to man, and man evolves into different dimensions. So we may gather 3,000 people, and who knows, in the next 1 or 2 years, somebody would pick a flame and will probably become the next pizza man who is employing thousands of Ghanaians.
Yeah.
Somebody will pick a flame and will probably become the next Dr. Stephen or the next Kwame Opoku. You know, so that's the drive, that's the vision. That's why the theme is Trailblazers Unite. So you who is coming, you're a trailblazer.
Yeah.
The people who are coming to share the stage with you and impart knowledge to you are also trailblazers. Yeah. And we'll all live there becoming better versions of ourselves with the goal to make sure that Ghana becomes better. Because when you become better first for yourself, your family, and by extension to society and the country. Yeah. So pretty much that's what the event is about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who are the speakers that we are supposed to expect?
Myself, I'm speaking.
Okay.
As the host, I'm speaking. I have Dr. Stephen Debra, who is the founder of CPL Developers, who's actually my mentor. I always say that if you see me do real estate at a certain pace, it's because I've had that man teach me. I have the CEO of Pizza Man Chicken Man and his co-founder Ebenezer Suman, somebody who is oftentimes behind the scenes that most people don't see. Yeah, but he's one of the forces to reckon with. And a lot of people say all sorts of stuff about Pizza Man, and I'm like, come and hear the Pizza Man story. You don't know what these guys go through on a daily, so come hear the Pizza Man story so that we can celebrate our own, because nobody has slandered KFC. Nobody will slander McDonald's if they show up and they do 100 branches. So why slander our very own? I have Anthony Jamefe, my very good brother, CEO of Caveman Watches, who's also doing amazing from ground up with what he's doing, making watches Ghanaian made, you know. So Kwame Opoku, my very good brother and knowledge merchant, you want to understand the past, where we've come from, the present, and then the future. You want to be there to listen to him. And then I have my brother, Sir Elom, who happens to be the global lead for the Psalmist International. He's going to bring us a bit of the God perspective. I don't downplay the God factor in what I do.
Most definitely.
I've had the privilege to travel the world. I've been in conferences in Egypt and in Morocco where in the middle of the conferences, the Muslims pause to pray. So I don't downplay the fact that I'm a kingdom person as well. So Sir Elom is going to speak to us a bit of the role of religion in shaping nations. And then I have an amazing woman coming all the way from the United States, Makeda Smith. Makeda Smith is the CEO of Savvy Chicks and Real Estate. She's an international sales agent, real estate sales agent, whose goal is to bridge the diasporan market to the Ghanaian and other African markets. And when she set out on this, she didn't believe it would become what it's become today. So at least young girls can understand that they can step out of their comfort zones and become as well. You know, so pretty much that's the lineup of speakers. And who knows, there may be a surprise guest showing up, because I have some surprises coming.
We're looking forward to that. So it's happening on the 12th of April, 2025. Time is 11 a.m.
Exactly.
It's absolutely free, right?
It's absolutely free.
Do we need to register?
There's a registration link, but then you just have to make your way to the UPSA Auditorium on the 12th of April. The team will be there to welcome you. We'll give you August seating, and just come prepared. Come with a longing to know. Come with a longing to become. Everything you're looking for as a young person is also looking for you, but not this version of you. And the version of you that must, if you're looking for a house at Trasaco, believe you me, there's a house in Trasaco that's looking for you. But the thing is, what version of you must you evolve to become so that you can get that house in Trasaco? And the easiest way to become is through knowledge.
Easiest way to become is through knowledge. So you need to know, all right? And myself, I'm going to be there. I mean, so please, let's come in our numbers for those of you who are looking forward. In fact, 12th of April, I don't think you'll be doing anything. I mean, it's the weekend before the Easter. So it's like a break. So come and impact, or come and be impacted, all right? Most definitely. I can vouch for this. Not because I know him. Not because I know those who are coming. Please, I can vouch for this. I mean, the last time I saw it happen and I missed out, I was like, gee, how did I even miss this in the first place? But anyway, so I'm not missing this for anything. So make sure you be a part of this. And for those who want to be of support, I'm sure definitely we can come on your socials. So please go ahead and give us your socials quickly.
www.mosesbarthur.com, my website. The Moses Arthur. So TheMosesArthur, The Moses Arthur. When you search that on all the platforms, you'd get me. From YouTube to Instagram to Facebook to TikTok, Twitter, all the platforms.
All platforms it is, The Moses Arthur. So please, we're filling the UPSA. Maybe we want to fill the UPSA beyond so that they know that they would have to even break the auditorium and build more. Yes, most definitely. So Moses, thank you so much for coming through. It's been a blessing having you.
Thank you.
As I did tell you, we don't get these people like this on the normal. So when we get them, we just need to, have a wonderful conversation it is. Well, to you out there, thank you so much for being a part of this show. Yes, it's been a blessing. And you know how we do. It's the AM Club every single weekday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. You know what to do. Give us a follow, MX24GH. When we're off camera on our socials, you'll get acquainted with us right there. My name is Kojo Daasebre. I'll see you same time tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Yes, holidays are over. We're back to business. Bye-bye.
All righty.